All your bones are sticking out.
Words can't describe.
I felt like a sparrow.
Incredible.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's going to be a really tough week.
Really tough.
Really tough.
Dreading this raw salmon. Oh, it even smells sick.
Supersize and Superskinny is a British reality show where extreme eaters in both directions, from obese to malnourished and vice versa, set fitness and diet goals and try to live a healthier life. The show is hosted by Dr. Christian Jessen, who welcomes participants in his feeding clinic, wherein each of the participants eats the diet of the other. In today's video, we're going to be looking at some of the moments in the show that were pretty shocking. Number 8. Jade catches Julie lie. In the opening of Season 3, we have Supersize Julie swapping diet with Superskinny Jade. While Jade's diet and food diary is out in the open and justifies her obvious physical appearance, Dr. Christian first notices something fishy about Julie's food diary. According to her food diary, Julie only consumes 3,000 calories a day, which according to Dr. Christian cannot be true, because it's not possible to pile pounds on that diet and end up weighing 23 stones. He had an eye for lies. Similarly, Jade started getting suspicious about the food portions she's getting from Julie. She felt that the meals are supposed to represent Julie's actual diet, but they're normal sized, so how come she's 23 stone? She questions Julie repeatedly if she's sure this is her actual diet or if she's kept something hidden. Julie gets upset about being accused of lying and runs upstairs. She's then confronted by Dr. Christian, who gets her to admit that she's stretched the truth a little here and in her food diary.
That's what I would have for my lunch.
Got yourself, 24 stone in weight. Live off what I've been given so far.
I'm not lying, I'm not.
Is it true though?
Yes.
You'd have 2 cheese and onion rolls?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it.
Or maybe it doesn't.
It doesn't. Have you cut your food diary down?
I'm sorry, I can't sit here and be told I'm wrong. I'm lying, I'm wrong, and don't lie to me with the camera.
Number 7. Colin goes blank on baked items. In episode 7 of season 6, underfed Colin and baked goods loving Stacey had a food face-off. In one food face-off, there was a strange encounter. While Stacey munched on her meager meal, Colin acted completely aloof to the baked items, as if he'd never even heard of them. He'd said that he's never seen a croissant up close, so he then proceeded to split baked items in half and smelt them as well. He seemed quite surprised with the fillings inside and wasn't even sure how to eat the pastry, even though there's nothing exotic about a pastry. It is in fact a really common baked item. Stacey was quizzical if Colin was exaggerating or acting this way, or he actually felt this way. Colin ended the food face-off remarking that this is totally not his type. Big surprise.
The thing is, it was just chocolate inside. Did you eat with a knife and fork, or have you eaten these before?
And then just tear chunks off and...
Oh, there's nothing to them, is there?
No, might get a bit of your sugar buzz then.
Not my kind of thing, I must admit, but...
Number 6. Alex apologizes Tracy. In episode 8 of season 1, we have long and lanky 22-year-old Alex Law from Stockport hits the scales at just 10 stone because he barely eats a meal. Tired and exhausted, he lives on a diet of caffeine pills supplemented by stodgy cakes and snacks, despite holding down the physically demanding job of a plasterer. His diet swap partner Tracy Morgan from Wales has a mouth that's constantly on the move. Her weight has soared to nearly 20 stone. Weighing worlds apart, Tracy and Alex share a sweet tooth. Even though initially Tracy is not a huge fan of Alex's meager meals, nor is he or her supersized portions, she realizes her wrong choice of having chocolates in excess and therefore rejects Travis's chocolate bars for lunch. Responding to her reaction, Alex tries to defend his choice of food. In retaliation, he gives her chocolate again at dinner, but ends up apologizing for putting her through a one-sided excuse for the diet. Number 5. 5 meals a day. In episode 8 of season 7, 35-stone Jeff swaps meals with super skinny air steward Josh, who weighs 8.5 stone. The 23-year-old Josh weighs 8 stone and is 6 foot 1 inch tall. Skipping meals, style-conscious Josh struggles to find fashion that fits. He has a busy job. He's all over the place, missing his meals or having them at odd times, like eating breakfast when he should have dinner. The 29-year-old supersizer Jeff weighs 35 stones, and every bit of his appetite is as big as his body. Jeff's diet comprises lots of meat, and all types of meat such as mutton, lamb, chicken, beef, turkey, and the list goes on. This means during the food swap, Josh is in for a huge surprise because a food swap with Jeff doesn't mean only eating large portion meals 3 times a day.
He seems to be telling me that he just eats 3 times a day.
But I don't view that I eat excessively. Looking at the size of my trousers, I do. So I'd be daft if I said I didn't. So you play with it a lot, don't you?
It just seems to be a never-ending...
While Josh has Jeff starving, Jeff has a bigger surprise. As part of his 5 meals a day, Jeff surprises Josh with a plate of 2 eggs and bacon sandwiches after breakfast.
I'll do a breakfast for a little bacon sandwich. Join in, because it'd be rude not to. So enjoy, tuck in.
A standard breakfast,
yes,
which is a bowl of cornflakes. You're not meant to then go...
Yeah, and I do like them. I like the taste of a bacon sandwich.
His eyes were piercing. It was like he was taking it out of my hand with his eyes.
Oh, that's it. Well done, keep it up.
But what happened next is beyond Josh's wildest food nightmares. Jeff wakes him up with a bowl of cornflakes and skim milk to munch on at 1 a.m. in the morning. Jeff, however, does a tiny favor on Josh by giving him a small bowl instead of a big one. Josh is hating every minute of this and feeling nauseous. He heads out. Josh has made it clear how unimpressed he is with Jeff's diet.
I've got a bowl of cornflakes for you.
Are you joking? It's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm hating this.
Number 4. 1 meal versus 3 meals at a time. In episode 4 of season 2, swapping diets in Dr. Christian's clinic are 18-year-old super skinny Georgetta, who undereats to look good, but at a cost to her model looks. She'll be paired with 28-stone Supersizer Amir, who is determined to lose weight so he can find a girlfriend. Right on the first food face-off, Georgetta swapped her breakfast, a nice small omelette with not just 1 large portion meal, but 3 huge takeouts that Amir ordered on call from 3 different restaurants. This truly was one of the most unusual food swaps encountered in Supersize vs Superskinny, where the Supersize diet's grease fest started on the very first face-off, which meant 4,000 extra calories already at breakfast.
I won't fill myself up too much. I'm just going to move on to the curry. I've got a lot to get through, so...
Number 3. Sushi. Guests of the feeding clinic in episode 3 of season 2, promotions girl Christine thinks her diet is healthy because she's following the government's advice on eating fruit and vegetables. At the opposite end of the scale is Martin, who's living on fatty, starchy and salty junk food. Dr. Christian Jessen oversees their dietary wake-up call. Supersize binge eater Martin wants to lose weight before renewing wedding vow, yet he finds himself frequently indulging in late-night takeouts. On the other hand, the super skinny fruit and veggie fanatic Christine does not understand portion sizes. During a food face-off where Martin gets Christine's favourite food, sushi, he expresses thorough displeasure and his hate for sushi to an offensive extent. This made Christine feel embarrassed for her choice of food because, according to her, sushi was a perfect depiction of a low-fat diet with healthy nutrients and good flavour.
I have to put something on that to make it edible. Dreading this raw salmon. Oh, it even smells sick.
Number 2. Obesity coffin for 11-year-olds. The opening of season 5 is an ordinary opening, but an eye-opener as well, where we see the grim realities of obesity increasing at a rapid rate. Dr. Christian flies out to Evansville, Indiana, officially America's fattest city, where 38% of the population is obese. Experts predict that by 2020, a third of adults in the UK will be obese. But in America, this milestone has already been reached. He meets a woman who lost her foot to obesity-related diabetes and visits a funeral home where the coffins are the size of hot tubs. Dr. Christian visits McAllen's mortuary, which is having to be supersized with wider doorways and autopsy tables. He finds out there are now ambulances called jumbulances for extremely obese patients, and there are patients who weigh as heavy as 80 stone who do not fit in normal ambulances at all. The saddest part of the visit for the viewers was finding out that there is now a demand for such huge coffins for children as young as 11 years old. The fact that there are eating disorders among not just adolescents but kids shows how they're picking up on eating habits from their parents.
Absolutely mind-boggling.
Well, you can actually get 3 people in this casket.
The person that's going into this side is not very old either. Really, it's heavy.
Casket will require probably 2 grave plots. The average age for my records is around 45 years old.
Number 1. Duo versus duo. Episode 4 of Season 4 makes a new record in the history of Supersize versus Superskinny. In this episode, for the first time, there's not a Supersize individual to swap diets with a Superskinny individual, but a Superskinny duo, a couple against a Supersized mother-daughter duo.
Chinese. I love Chinese so much.
Toffee, chocolate, fudge, ice cream. Some of the foods we like are jelly sweets.
I like
chocolate,
cherry baked balls, crisps,
biscuits. Sometimes though, Wednesday can't wait, so we go down Monday instead.
Diet seems to be the same. It's quite easy. Ham sandwich takes 2 minutes to make. Get home from work, doner kebab or a bit of fast food takeaway.
Sometimes I don't get a lot of time in the day to eat because I am so busy.
To allocate time purely just for food, no.
I generally stick to the same sort of food, tomato sandwiches for lunch, and I do eat cream crackers.
We had the mother-daughter duo Janet and Tara, who weigh in at nearly half a ton. Their diet of cholesterol-crammed Chinese meals and cakes aplenty have left them both morbidly obese.
Just fed up with it. Just don't need to be this fat. It's ridiculous. I have a dread of being hungry, don't you?
Yeah, I just hate the feeling of being hungry. Even if I'm really, really full, I find it really hard not to eat more.
They swap diets with the couple, Joanne and workaholic Keith, who have no time for food in their hectic lifestyles. It was different and engaging.
Wow, it's really big. Okay. I'm quite worried because I never have coffee. I don't like coffee.
But this is nice, by the way. It is nice.
Will you please shut up? Would you like some? Yes, but
Maybe it is.
not on this occasion.
We saw that whether they came as a duo, there was still individual impact on the food face-off on each of the 4 contestants.
No, I'm hoping to put on a bit of weight. I'm hoping to get some curves and some boobs and hips. And, do you know what I mean? It'd be good. Would you like some of mine?
No. Thanks for the same.
I'm really impressed that you managed to eat all that, actually.
That's all for this video, folks. See you another time.